What's going on, people? It is Monday, the 16th of June, 2025. Honestly, I need to stop making constant videos. Like, I'll record the video, I'll have an idea of what to say, and I'll just fuck it up and then just delete it, then just delete it, then just delete it. I fucking hate that. I'm trying to be myself here. I'm trying to, just to say what I want to say, and it's like, it's like the fact that I feel I have to be perfect on a video because yes, I do want to be able to look back in the future and be clear on what I'm saying, be clear on how I think that's the thing. I have something that I want to talk about now, but I just don't know how to explain it, and so I don't know when to explain it and how to exactly explain it, and so I keep making the video again, so I'm getting a clear message across, and I hate that. I just want to say, what's going on, and then ideas and feelings that I have, let that follow the conversation because there is things that I want to talk about. There's things that make me click the record button that I need to get off my chest because as much as I as much as I want to be this person that's like or like nonchalant or problems don't affect me, they do, man. And there's not really many people I can go and talk to. Yeah, I can talk to my mum, and I probably should talk to my mum. Um, but it's like I feel like talking to myself and having these videos to reflect back on in the future, or if I do become that guy that's selling courses or whatever it might be, just letting people know that this is real. Um, this is what I went through to be able to become the person I am. These situations happened, and just giving that clear message, just to be able to show that is what I want to be able to do. Um, I'll first start talking about what's actually been going on. For the past 2 weeks of me applying on Indeed for these jobs to be able to accommodate the certain times that I want, which I need to write down the certain times that I want because I just have an idea. I finally landed two interviews, one for BP and one for a delivery job. It's funny because I applied Indeed so much, and yet the delivery driving job came from calling a person, which then called another person, and then the BP one came from calling a person. So all this shit about applying on Indeed, all this stuff, it didn't work. And I have over 250 jobs that I applied for. It's crazy on Indeed, and it's like I've got unfortunately, no, back, like back to back as well. And some did get back to me, but of course, that's when I talk about in the earlier days when I was thinking 9 to 5, I wanted to do. But then when I really started to think about it, it's like, yo, I can't do that. I can't go to work knowing that, in the evening, I can't necessarily do my work. I can't really get my meetings booked. I can't have the conversations then. I can't contact housing associations then. I can't contact agents then. You know, I need to work in the evenings because if not, I'm just going to be sat there scratching my balls saying to myself, well, what the fuck am I doing? Do you know what I mean? Like playing games or whatever it might be. And I can't do that. So when I go to these interviews, I need to let them know the times that I'm willing to be able to do. And if it's a negotiation period, yeah, but I need to have some sort of idea of what I need to do because the last thing I want to be able to do is go there, start the job, and just be saying no and complaining and don't like it and being this person at which I don't want to be able to be. So I've got to be willing to walk away from it. And I thought it was going to be the case of 2 days of applying, I'll get a job, and this is the reality of it. You only realize the reality of it once you're actually doing it. And so I'm comfortable, waiting until I get it. It is what it is. If that's how long it takes, then that's how long it'll take. But when I do land it, it'll be good. But I'm hoping they can accommodate these times. I'd rather pick this delivery one over the BP one, but the BP one can accommodate night shifts, so it's going to be a case of going to that interview as well as this one, which is on Wednesday. I've got a few other tasks that I need to be able to do, which I need to get done today. But man, let me talk about Nando's for a sec. Yeah, these closes until like 12 o'clock, or sometimes you finish in 1 o'clock. They remind me of how I feel after I've been to a nightclub. When you go to a nightclub, yeah, and you wake up the next day and you just feel like rotten, like you just feel rotten, like you've finished. That's how I feel every single time I finish Nando's close. It's like you wake up later, um, your mouth, it's like I don't know, it just feels weird. Your whole body's aching. You just physically just not there. And I don't know if this is just me, and this makes me just not a night person, like a night, um, uh, what was it called? Like going a nightclub person. But man, I'm starting to think, man, if I'm doing a night shift, I'm gonna feel like this every day. Then this is gonna be tough. Do you know what I mean? But I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to work the 7 days a week because that's what I need to be able to do. You know, I've watched videos and, you know, I've realized that I'm in, you know, what's known as the lonely chapter in my life at the minute. I don't know if this is a case of, you know, just being young and figuring myself out, or if it's because, you know, I've got this idea that I want to be able to achieve, and I know I'm able to achieve it and working towards it every single day, and I can't relate to other people. I can't relate to, you know, what my people say in work and stuff like that. This is the lonely chapter. I'm not necessarily, you know, rubbing elbows with no one else and nothing like that. Like this is just myself. Um, and you know, when I talk about that, there's a big concept for me that's like bettering myself as a person, not as in the terms of like business and you know becoming rich and doing all this, just bettering my mindset and you know how I approach certain situations. And one in particular is you know girls and romance and those type of relationships, because the thing that's it's not so annoying but really just rattles me is the fact that understanding now through this ambition that there's these courses that you can keep going through to be able to actually learn how to do it. There's going to be a case of it's going to be a case of being this person with these relationships. It's learning how to actually do it. It's not a case of just going ahead and then you know figuring it out, or going ahead and just being yourself and then trying to do it, because like this business that I'm doing, that's what people might think initially. It's like, oh, they have an idea, let me just try and figure it out along the way. No, it's a case of you know actually learning. For me, you know, it was paying to learn, and then following it step by step because it's a procedure that you're following, learning the procedure, learning how to actually do it. And that's the same for, I'm guessing, well, not I'm guessing, well, I know for relationships. Now, of course, you can be yourself, but what I've learned is yourself is there's many different versions of yourself. So I used to always say this, I'm talking relationships here before, by the way, before, you know, I'm confusing people. I used to think, you know, I just want to be myself when I'm speaking to a girl. I just want to be myself when, you know, I'm approaching a girl, or, you know, when I meet my future girlfriend, or if it was the case, obviously, before meeting my future girlfriend, I just want to be myself, you know, not have to follow any procedure, just be how it is. But, you know, I learned that there's different versions of yourself, and it's true. You know, when you're going to the gym, there's a different version of you. When you're speaking to your mum, there's a different version of you. When you go to work, when you're being this businessman in front of all these people, um, it, the version of you that you think you most relate to is like when you're, I don't know, with your mates, because that's when you tend to be that person. Do you know what I mean? Like maybe it might be funny, it might be a bit silly, but it's true. You know what I mean? Because you're still the exact same person when you go to the gym, but you're not saying a word. You're just locking in. You're working hard, and that bugs me knowing that I have to learn to be able to be this person. And the reality is, even though you know, and it's a big debate, but I can't just be myself. It's another thing that I've got to learn. But it excites me at the same time because it shows me that there's something else to learn. There is a reason to why I keep failing. And I want to talk about this because this is the, you know, when I first talked about in the video that I want to things to come across. It's the feeling for me at the minute. You know, I'm having feelings for this person that I feel doesn't necessarily like me back. And the reason why I feel that is because I don't have the balls to be able to go up to her and tell her that I like her. And I think that's maybe because of the reason that, you know, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's because I might work with her. Maybe it's the case of, maybe it's the case of, um, I'm trying to be great. And it's like, I don't want them to try and affect me. You know, girls take time and money, or, you know, relationships take time and money, or I don't know, maybe it's just a case of I don't have the balls to be able to do it. But there is a reason, but there's a feeling that I'm having for this person that's just killing me every single day. And it's like, I'm always it's happened twice now where, you know, for me, only, and I think this is for boys in general. If you find a girl attractive and you get along with their personality and they're flirty with you, that's all it's going to take. That's really the bottom line. That's all it's going to take for me. And it's like it's happened twice now with the girls flirty, flirtatious. I catch feelings, and then they act in this certain way, and they feel like you feel like they don't care. And it's like I just don't want to be chasing. I just don't want to be chasing. I don't want to be that guy. But it's like I end up low key becoming that guy, and it's like I don't want that to happen. And what ends up happening is because I'm not chasing the girl, because I'm trying to not show interest to something like that, it feels as if, you know, they don't care, and that's why I feel like they don't like me. And then what ends up happening is I really end up liking the girl, and then I start feeling this certain way. I'm too scared to say how I feel, and then I'm going to sleep, fucking bugging myself out, and annoyed with myself that, you know, I'm not becoming this certain guy. I'm not this nonchalant person that's like just trying to work on this thing. There is things that I'm trying to do to that I'm trying to do to better myself, so I'm not feeling this certain way. And there's a procedure to follow with talking to these girls and doing this thing, and, you know, becoming this person, this hardworking person, and understanding the difference between, you know, being a lone wolf and figuring it out now, but also the fact that, you know, the lone wolf dies in the end. You know, we need support to be able to survive. And that's a bunch of shit that, you know, to people might not necessarily make sense, might come across cringy or whatever it is, but that is the truth, you know. And it's like, I think books are really good to be able to do this, but to be able to figure it out. And I need to find a procedure to be able to learn. I need to figure out what I want to be, what I want to be able to become. If it's a person of, you know, discipline, understanding that, you know, especially relationships, because that's how I'm feeling right now. But that's a whole nother, you know, idea I need to adopt, a whole nother thingy I need to learn, but I'm willing to do it. Um, and yeah, that's just how I'll be feeling at the minute, man. So that's what's going on. I actually don't know how to finish this off, but that's what I'm going to talk about. That's what I'm going to post out there, and, you know, wish me the best of luck, man.